ground shake.
Here it is. It has been a long ride with this enclosure, and we currently have 152 decibels with this setup now recorded sealed on dash. So it is loud and it is very good sounding enclosure. It has many defects. It's not perfect, but how I made it? First of all, I used these plywood birch, Baltic birch plywood strips to make this front baffle here. The thickness is 330 millimeter plywood, like here you can see 30 millimeter here, and also it has this strip on it, so it's 4 centimeters thick, this front baffle. And I use this kind of 1 centimeter thick layers to just stack them up like so, and used some glue to glue them all together, and then sanded it down. I made this board with belt sander and sanded very round, and after that I started to use the varnish for the top coat here, and I used Tikkurila superkestävä. I'm putting a image of the varnish here, so, or in the description where you can find it, and it soaked a lot of that stuff, like 1 liter or so. If the plywood is like so, it does not suck varnish inside, but it is like so, it just goes through the wood. So I managed to put almost a liter of varnish in this front baffle only. So it is very hard, and after I managed to it came on this surface a little bit, so I made many layers. Every time I put the varnish on, I sanded it down and then put another layer, and it took me like 1 or 2 months total to make this front baffle. And after that I used like 200 grit paper, then sanded it down, then used 400, 800, 1000 water sanding, and up to 2000 water sanding. And after 2000 water sanding, it was so smooth that I started to use a rotary machine, and I polished it with polished well, you know, rotary machine and polished, it's not solid polishing material I used, and polished it very thoroughly. And then I used E-Green Lover Eco Coat Quartz 9H hard coating on it, and I made like 15 layers of the coating on top of here. So this is very hard, and this is very smooth surface here, and it's glossy. If you look like here, you can see it's dirty now, but you can see it's very glossy. You can see my hand here. So that's about the front baffle. The rest of the enclosure is 30 millimeter thick plywood, Baltic birch plywood, and it is rough here. It's not pretty. It has holes everywhere, etc. We first made it with one 12-inch subwoofer, and now it has two 12-inch subwoofers. The inside it's around 140 liters, and now it's tuned roughly to 37-36 hertz with this port adapter here. The inside material is just Tikkurila Luja white, painter's white paint, and it has a glass inside and some LED lights. So let's go find out the inside. So behind here, as you can see, we have two subwoofers. They are DD9512s. They are quite big subwoofers, and I'm currently having a Digital Designs M4 to power them up. And as you can see, the port comes down inside here, and you can see it from the inside. This is 10 millimeter thick glass, and it has held up to 168 decibels. You can see some dirt there, but it's okay. It's very hard to keep it clean, as it tends to suck every particles of air and dirt inside, and they just leave there. You cannot vacuum them from the port. So we measured on that corner, we measured 168 decibels inside here. I used those taps to hook the subwoofer in, and this is just hooked with normal wood screws. And the LEDs are SMD 5050 LEDs, and I have this very cheap ass controller here to just put the lightings on and off. And we are using it is 8 or 10 millimeter squared wiring here to wire those bad boys. And as you can see, they are getting rusty, so I need to take them off and polish them thoroughly and add some maybe some coatings on them so they look nice in the next enclosure we will be making. So I think that we are going to sell this enclosure. It is so heavy that I cannot ship it outside of Finland because it weighs like 50 kilograms, and inside Finland it cost me like 80 to 100 euros to ship it inside Finland, so I cannot sell it outside of Finland. But hey, we are going to sell it. We are going to make even cooler enclosure now with it is now a very nice wood finished, but the next enclosure will be something different, very different, also with 2 DD9512s. Stay tuned for that. See you on the next video. Bye bye.